Now, this video's topic is about a story that happened earlier this month, so it's kind of an old one, but I gotta be honest with you, I've been thinking about this nonstop for weeks. I'm going to give you guys all of the details and the backstory, and then I'll get into why this is still so prevalent in my brain. And that way we can share my struggle. Hello everyone, welcome back to my commentary channel. I'm happy you're joining me today. So here's the headline of this story. TikTok user who matched with Matthew Perry on Raya at age 19 speaks out. Alright, now let's unpack that. Raya is an exclusive dating app reserved only for celebrities and influencers. I think you need at least 5,000 Instagram followers and a recommendation from a current user just to even be considered for an application. So not to pressure you guys, but we gotta step this up. I got a network. So the setting of this story I understand. It's like Tinder, but for the famouses. Matthew Perry, of course, is the veteran actor from the TV show Friends. He played Chandler. I've only seen a few handful of episodes from the show, but I immediately recognized him because of just how popular and iconic that show was. So the actor we're dealing with here is very well known and very widely publicly recognized. And the TikTok star who matched with him on Raya is named and she is 19. Now you might have noticed that I said instead of a human name, and not to spoil the article, but that is because there is some doubt as to why she shared this, and she might have done it for clout and fame, if you can believe that. So I'm just going to try to avoid buying into that just in case that part of the story is true. So the premise of this story is that this TikTok star, aged 19, matched with Matthew Perry, notably not aged 19, on a dating app. I'm not going to waste your time by reading this whole article to you, so I'm just going to give you the sped up version and I will link it in the description if you would like to do some more research on your own. Essentially, this girl swiped on Matthew Perry not because she was interested in dating him, but because she thought it would be funny. And then when they matched, he suggested immediately that they FaceTime instead of messaging, and she agreed. While on the FaceTime call, Matthew suggested they play 21 questions to get to know each other. And apparently this girl's friend was filming this interaction off to the side, and that is the clip that eventually goes viral. So they're playing this game, and says that none of the questions were sexual, and that he was actually treating this game more like an icebreaker. But she does say that she was uncomfortable with their age difference, and it even came up during the conversation. The article then says the blonde beauty claimed the actor asked her at one point, "Am I as old as your dad?" And I'm saving my judgments for the end, but the blonde beauty? What kind of objective journalism is that? Anyway, the girl reports that she says that he was only a year off from her dad, and apparently he laughed it off. So she uploads the video that her friend took of their conversation to her TikTok page, where it then goes semi-viral. Then less than 24 hours later, she takes the video down, stating that she, quote, felt bad because he was just being a nice guy. And it's worth noting that Matthew Perry did not respond to any of this, or any of these claims, rather, because he's in the middle of the Friends reunion, I think. The article ends by this girl concluding her interview with, "Honestly, it's not really okay for these older guys to be talking to such young girls." Okay, so that's the story. And now, it's time for my opinion. From my perspective, this story has no winners. When you break this entire story down, the message seems to be that old celebrities should not message teenage girls on dating apps, and that general take does make sense to me. However, things become messy when you bring up the fact that this girl matched with Matthew Perry. Like, she swiped yes and he swiped yes, making this a consensual interaction between two legal adults on a dating app. Now again, I don't know how Raya works, because I'm a commoner, but usually on dating apps you have a place where you can add your preference on how old the people you match with can be. And the fact that they matched means that this girl had her age preference range set up to at least 50, and Chandler here had his age range set to around 19. Now personally, I do think that Matthew Perry, a 50-something-year-old man, should not be messaging 19-year-olds on dating apps, because I try to be accepting of most relationships, but Ones with age gaps of that size really just come across to me as red flags. However, this article makes it sound like he was being nothing but respectful to this girl, not being overly sexual or creepy towards her, but instead genuinely trying to get to know her. It was one interaction, so we don't know for sure, but based on this account, it sounds like it was all clean. Now, is this girl a dick for releasing a secret recording of a private conversation? Oh, yeah, absolutely. She said she did it to make a point about older male celebrities being too comfortable with teenagers, but she could have just brought that up, or even been upfront to Matthew Perry about it, but instead she had her friend record it to the side without being clear about it, and I don't know, that also triggers red flags for me. And then she just uploads it to her fan base on TikTok, and that makes it seem like she was definitely doing it not to spread awareness around a message, but rather to be like, look what Chandler from Friends just said. So that's really the ending I'm at with this story. Matthew Perry shouldn't be messaging teenagers on dating apps, but this girl is trying to demonize a clean and consensual interaction in order to push out a message. Then again, part of me does not blame this girl for acting the way she did. She matched with a massive celebrity on a dating app, which is probably nerve-wracking on its own. And the article says that she did take down the video soon after posting it, so maybe she acted on an impulse when she posted it originally. I don't know. And I also have no idea if this is common behavior for Matthew Perry. Maybe he matches with women his age as well, or maybe he has his age range set to lower. I don't know. It's useless to speculate. I mean, he's not working a lot, so if you want to book him on Cameo and ask him, I guess you could, but I don't have the money for that kind of journalism. I do think that this article is a bit needless. This story sounds like one that would make a good reference in a larger article, but making a big deal out of this little interaction does not make much sense to me. Age gaps in relationships are tricky, even to just talk about. I don't think there is a set guideline for adults to follow when it comes to these kinds of interactions. Like, when you reach a certain age, 5-year gaps or even 10-year gaps are really common in a lot of adult relationships. I do think it gets a little trickier when one of those parties is so young, especially 19. And that's not even to mention that having a celebrity be involved complicates this whole thing even further. If I had a friend come up to me and say, hey man, I have this friend who's 52, she's interested in you, can I set you two up? I'd probably say, that's a little too old for me, I'm 22, if she's 52, that's too much of an age range. And then if that friend said, oh, and her name is Lucy Liu, I'd be like, Lucy Liu? Forget everything I just said. And I think that's why this story has been on my mind all these weeks later. I just don't know. Relationships with age gaps can be seen in a wide variety of different ways, and it just all depends on the details and personal preference. There's so many varying factors that there really is no right or wrong as long as the two people are of legal age and are both getting what they want. And I don't even really know where my own boundaries with this thing lie, because to be honest, it's very hard to hypothesize from my current position. So maybe this is just something you have to learn from experience, or I don't know. But I do think it comes down to personal preference and safety. As long as whatever you're doing follows those two main tent poles, then I think it's okay to just follow your heart. But that's just my commentary. Nobody really wants to hear about that. Let's get back into the ice-cold drama. If this girl did not want to match with Matthew Perry, she should not have swiped on him. And personally, I don't think Matthew Perry should have even been looking at the 19-year-olds on this app. But again, that's just my humble little opinion. And finally, I don't think this story deserves to be turned into an article. There's just not enough here to make any extensive claims about anything. And the people getting outraged about this, I think, were just looking for something to be mad about. So there's not really much more to say, so yeah, that's where the video ends. Be sure to leave a comment or three about which Friends actor you'd want to message you on a dating app. Personally, my gut says Phoebe, but my friends tell me I'm a Joey, so who knows? Thank you all for watching my video. I appreciate you doing that. I'll leave more videos on the screen for you, as well as my social medias if you'd like to see more of me. This channel has been growing a lot and reaching a lot new viewers recently, so if you're new here, hi, thank you for joining, and I hope I continue to entertain you in the future. Please stay safe, take care of yourselves, I love you lots, bye.